good on this set. This is, wow. Okay. You know, Philip, I was telling you earlier when we were talking on the phone tonight, I was just reading this article today about how victory gardens are back and everyone's showing such an interest in growing their own food. And if that's something that interests you, you'll like the experience better if you get things that you know are going to work. Philip's bringing us 3 varieties of big producing tomatoes, 3 varieties of beefsteaks. And here's what you're going to get. You're going to get 6 plants, 2 will be red, 2 will be yellow, and 2 will be purple. So these beautiful varieties, you can grow these in the ground, you can grow them in containers. And Philip, why did you decide to go with these 3 varieties? Because, now correct me if I'm wrong, but 2 of them don't exist anywhere in the world but with you and at QVC, right?
Well, it's all about the flavor, and there's nothing that says summer like a tomato sandwich. And I just love them, but to tell the truth, since we've all been stuck up in our houses, I'm afraid to eat the mayonnaise at this point because I don't want to emerge from all of this looking not quite like I used to look. So I've been slicing mine, and I put balsamic vinegar on it, and it's just heavenly that way, just really, really beautiful.
I'm gonna just stick some
But these are big slicing tomatoes. We've got 3 different varieties, all of which have unique flavors. And it's about the taste. That's all it is. It's all about the taste. But look how beautiful they are.
These are not the grocery store tomatoes. Look,
no, ma'am.
You cut this open. That tomato is red all the way through. It's not white. It's not mealy. It's not watery. Like I wish we had smell-o-vision. It smells so good. So let's talk about the varieties. So we're going to get 3 or 2 of the red. So here, up here, this is what your plants are going to look like.
Red truck.
Now, I got to let everyone know, you cannot go down to any garden center. I know most of them are closed, but even if you live near one that's open, you cannot go to a garden center right now or go to any catalog and order Big Red Truck. It is exclusive to QVC. Philip's the only one who can grow it. In fact, Philip, you named it. Why'd you name it Big Red Truck?
Well, it's a gigantic tomato, and you know, have you ever heard of truck farming? And that was all about produce, and so that's where it came from. My grandfather was a truck farmer down in Copiah County, Mississippi. But this is a late fruiting red tomato, and they're really, really large. And so it extends the season. And what we've done with these varieties is that we have staggered the season so it's not going to be where you have too many tomatoes all at once. You have just the right amount.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, exactly, because then you got you don't have enough, and then you got too many. That's not the way this collection is. And you get 2 each of the 3 different varieties that you see. And if you like a low acid tomato, that beautiful yellow one right there is just incredible.
Okay, look at these tomatoes. Like, you're not going to the grocery store and getting these. Philip, isn't it true that grocery store tomatoes actually aren't necessarily bred for flavor? They're bred for toughness so they can sit on the shelves longer.
Well, it's not even just that, is that they harvest the tomatoes before they're ripe with a mechanical picker. And if it doesn't have a really thick skin, the mechanical picker will just absolutely mash the tomato to bits.
Gotcha.
But if you're just going out in your own backyard, you want a thin-skinned tomato. Because I don't want all of that skin if it's going to be really thick and dense. I want something that is all meaty and delicious on the inside, and that's what you have. And if you like that dark star right there, if you like the purple tomatoes like Cherokee Purple, this is a better version of that.
Okay, and even if you're someone who says, oh yeah, I've grown the dark tomatoes before, the purple tomatoes, I promise you, you have not grown this variety of Dark Star, because the Big Red Truck and the Dark Star are exclusive to Phillip Watson Designs. He even named the Big Red Truck one, exclusive to Phillip, and he's only bringing them here. So you're going to be one of the first people in the world this year to be growing these varieties. Now, Philip, what do I need to know to make this successful? Because I want to be able to go out on my deck and pick the Big Red Truck, the Dark Star, and what was the other one, that Chef's Choice?
Yeah, the Chef's Choice yellow. Well, what you need, tomatoes like a lot of sun. So you want to make sure you've got them in full sun. If you're going to plant them in the ground, plant them about 3.5 feet apart, because they do get large. Also, if you want to do them in a container, put them in that whiskey barrel size container. And those whiskey barrels, the plastic ones that come from the box store, are about 22 inches in diameter. Put 1 per container, 1 plant per container, and fill it full of the your potting mix, and then make sure you put a tomato cage on it because these babies will want to get 6 feet tall.
Philip,
And
I'm
so,
looking at the picture of the big red truck on top of what looks like avocado toast.
yes, yes.
I think my mouth just watered. That looks incredible. Look how nice those are.
It's really awesome. But I love mine in the morning, say if I'm fixing myself an omelet and I have the slices of tomato and I've got my balsamic vinegar on it, it's just heavenly. And I've got them all summer long. I'm sharing them with my neighbors. My neighbors don't want zucchini. They want the nice, great tomatoes. And if this collection is too big for you, say if you don't want to have 6 plants, the neighbors that come and bother you for tomatoes, give some of the tomato plants and say, okay, it's your year to grow them. And let them grow some too, and have a little contest.
That's a nice point because you're getting 6 tomatoes here, 6 tomato plants. They end up being $4 and change a tomato plant. I mean, that's wild. 5 easy payments of $4.99. Here's what you're going to get. 6 actively growing plants. So, Philip, we're going to get these home. And how soon would you say from this, which is going to arrive in the mail, to this?
80 days.
Oh, not bad. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
I like that.
And that's on the long end, between 65 and 80 days, depending on where you're living. If you live in the South, you'll get them sooner.
This is a good-looking tomato. Like anyone who buys tomatoes from the grocery store can look at this and say, oh, Philip didn't go to the grocery store to get that. Like, look at the difference. They smell so good.
There's a huge difference because there's nothing better than home-grown tomatoes, and this collection is exceptional. And people have gone wild over these for good reason. I have them in my garden every single season. It's the first thing that I put out for myself, and it's the one thing I can count on. This year, I'm getting more in touch with my roots. My grandfather always had the great homegrown tomatoes, and there's no excuse for not having them. If you've just got a deck area, I did a small video one time where I had the tomato in the center, and then I planted some ornamental things around the edges where I've got my annuals around the edges cascading over. And that's a beautiful look too.
Yeah, I don't think, in recent history that at least that I can think of, have we been more interested in growing our own food. And, the other thing too is right now we're all spending a lot more time at home. You have time now to get these home and get your tomato plants started. Like, get them started now. And then later in the summer, hopefully we'll all be out and about and doing all of our favorite summer things. God willing, we'll be doing that. You'll have these amazing tomatoes. When it's time to have friends and family over again, you're going to have grown your own tomatoes. It's pretty awesome. I mean, you have the time to start them now.
Well, indeed you do. And I tell you what, even if you're lazy like I am and you will get a frozen pizza, you can dice these tomatoes up and put them on top of a frozen pizza. If you've also got some canned soup, you add the diced up tomatoes into something that's already ready made. You don't have to make the whole thing, but you can make it special.
All right, well, guess what? Everybody wants these. Over 1,000 have been ordered, and this is our only quantities of the season. This is new today, and it's all we have right here in this show. So you want to grab them now if you want them. I love this idea of 3 varieties because when you are doing like these platters, if you look at the food that's in front of me is all very, very simple. I mean, here we just have some basil, lettuce, and fresh mozzarella cheese. But look at what happens when you layer those different varieties of tomatoes. And again, look, that is obviously not a grocery store tomato. Like, look at how beautiful this is. So get them home. Philip, this is some of the most fragrant tomatoes I think I've ever presented. Like, they just smell so good.
Well, and I think you also, you've seen a lot of tomato plants before. Even you go to the box stores to buy your tomatoes, they don't look like the ones that I'm shipping out to you. What I'm shipping out to you is already a nice, dense plant. It is going to perform straight away. It's not spindly. It's not 1 liter. It's well rooted. This is going to rock in your garden. It's going to rock on your deck. They're just gorgeous, gorgeous plants. I wouldn't be without them.
Well, I got to tell you, it smells a lot better in this studio. Those are beautiful. Hey, still to come,